everybody, it's me again, Grandmaster Sopiko Goramishvili for Ch10. Today our topic will be Overload, a very interesting theme and very useful tactical motive. Let's start with the game Morozevich against Kramnik, and we see that White has two pieces for the rook, but the position of the king on f3 is pretty vulnerable. But it seems that the e6 pawn is pretty strong passed pawn, and the bishop and the knight on d4 blockades the position pretty well. But is it really true that the bishop on c5 blockades the position well? Black here played a very nice move, rook f8. The bishop on c5 is actually overloaded to defend the square f8 from the pin and the c file from checks. So rook f8 anyway. White has to take bishop f8. Queen f8 is not enough, of course, because after rook f8, bishop f8 there is queen d4 and black is completely winning. So after bishop f8, rook c3, there is a very nice mate in few moves after king g2, queen g3, king f1, rook c1. Only moves that white has to make: king e2, queen e1, king f3, rook c3. Well, if king d3, then there is direct mate on c3. So white has to go king f3, rook c3, king g4, queen g1, and anywhere king goes there is a mate. If king h4, then after queen g5 there is a mate. If king f4, which was played in the game, also queen g5, and any other moves, king h5 or king f5 leads to the mate with queen g5. Let's see another lovely example of the game Galyamova against Wroblewski. Here we have a very interesting position. Black is attacking, and we see that the rook on f file and the queen on b6 is combining a great attack on f2 pawn, which means that the queen, the queen on f3 is actually overloaded, defending too many pieces, which is f2 pawn in some other way, we will see in what way, and rook on d1. So the move here that was made in the game wins on the spot. Knight h3. An opened attack, so queen has to take h3. If g takes h3, then black just wins the queen on f3. So after queen h3, a very nice mate, queen f2, rook f2. If king goes, then black just takes the rook on f1 and it is mate in back rank. So after rook f2, rook d1, rook f1, and there is a mate in both ways, rook df1 or ff1. So I think this example is very beautiful and shows what is overload very well. And let's move on to the game Van Beek against Peel. Also tough position. White has two passed pawns on queen side, but the king is in the center, which is main problem for white. Still not castled and not developed. The move that was played in the game actually wins the game. The queen on a7 is overloaded, defending the knight on d4 and the rook on c7. I say the knight on d4 just because if white, for example, plays, black, for example, plays queen h4 directly, nice check, but after king d2, white is materially up and black doesn't have any other possibilities to continue the attack. So black here decided to exchange the sacrifice the exchange, sorry. Rook d4. Now we see that the queen is overloaded because there is no queen d4 because of queen c7, and white has to take e d4, which after queen h4 check, we see that there is no more the d2 square for the king. So if king e2, if king e2, then simple bishop b5 wins, and knight f2 is pretty much forced, and we see the pin here. So after e3, castle, e takes f2, king h1. Again, rook f2 was not possible because of bishop e3 pin, and black wins the rook on f2. So after king h1, bishop b5, rook f7. There is actually, this is a very tricky move because, for example, if black takes the wrong rook, which is on f7, then white has a knight check on b8, and after king g7, queen b5. So just bishop f1 leads to the win. Rook f8, bishop f8 does not help. The black has just an extra piece and a passed pawn on f2. And let's move on to the next example, the game Gagan versus Anand. A very nice typical position. The knights are on e4 and e5, but the bishop is on d3, overloaded to defend the queen on c2, and the knight on b5 as well, which gives the idea to black that after knight e5, d takes e5, there is a very nice tactic, knight f2. Now queen cannot take on f2 because of bishop d3, and black will be just pawn up. So after king f2, simple and beautiful queen b5. The point of queen b5 is that bishop b5, bishop c2 leaves black with an extra pawn, and if bishop f5, g takes f5 and queen f5, after queen b2, black has very nice position and a big advantage. I hope you're enjoying the examples and looking forward for part 2. See you soon.